Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to do a SCX24 transmitter comparison between the V1 and the V2, which is the V1 is the AX4, which came with the first original release of the SCX24, and this new no-named TX radio that came with my V2 Jeep. So on a video I posted up a little while ago, we did the box opening of the Jeep JLCRC V2, and I was unaware that there was a version 2 of these. And yeah, so on my receipt it said V2 when I got the package in, so I was unaware that there was a difference between them. They haven't changed their look or anything. So I put up that video, and on that video I had a comment from one of the watchers that said the reason that they went with the different radio, this new blue carbon fiber looking radio, was because the throttle on the old AX4 was not engaging until near half pull of the trigger. So we're going to test that today. So I've got some tape on the tires of the C10. It's up here on the mount here off the table, and I also put some tape on the tires of the Jeep, the version 2. So we'll get right into this and test to see, and we'll start with the CJ. So the tape will help us be able to see that when we engage, and then on the remote, I'm going to kind of put the remote kind of here for you. You can see that I put some green tape on the upper part of the trigger just to see how far you guys can see how far I have to pull before the tires engage. And of course they're engaging. We'll do them up here on the stand first with no weight on them, which there isn't a lot of weight on them anyways. These are pretty light, and I don't have a lot of extra parts in these yet, heavy brass or aluminum parts, so should give us a pretty good idea of which radio is engaging quicker, if they are in fact different, because I'm not sure. This is my first V2, so let's give this a go. So we'll turn on the CJ. We'll get it all fired up here, back on the stand so we can see it. We'll get the radio on. Okay, so let's get right to this. So let's watch the wheels and kind of watch my finger at the same time, and it'll give us an idea, hopefully, of when those tires engage. So I'm starting the pull now. Oh, it's pretty quick. So I've barely moved that, maybe a millimeter, and we have tires engaged. So if we look at the remote, we'll just watch the rear tire and the remote. I'll get the remote in a little bit more. Yeah, maybe 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters, and we have engagement. That's going forward, going reverse. About the same. I feel it's probably about the same. So we'll do the reverse again. I can hear the whine starting right there. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But pardon me, we do have a whine, but no movement. And that's probably a millimeter or 2, and then we just give it another millimeter and we got engagement. And then going forward again, I'll get the radio a little bit out of the way for you so you can see those green marks. We get that whine right away. Hopefully you guys can hear that whine. I'm not sure if you can. Let me just if you hear me move the mic a little bit, hopefully you don't. So there's the whine. That's at about 2 millimeter pull, and then we got engagement a millimeter or 2 later. So really, I like, that's halfway. That's full throttle, and that's about halfway on the trigger. So obviously I didn't have an issue with this radio connecting with the ESC and making good trigger action, because right away we're getting movement right away. So okay, so we've tested this one, and we've established that it's probably a millimeter or two before engagement. Like, we got the whine right away. I'll be quiet here, so hopefully you guys can hear the whine. Oop. There's the whine. I'm barely moving the trigger, maybe 2 millimeters, and then we got engagement. Okay, so we've seen this one. Let's see if there is, we'll turn off this radio. Let's see if there's any difference. We'll get this truck shut down. Any difference in the new V2 radio, which is a whole new radio and new ESC by the looks of it, or they just re-tagged it. So we've got the tape on this one also. And we'll get the radio on. Again, this radio has a little bit more function to it and a little bit more indicator lights, so it is a nicer radio. And I'll leave a link to that video that I did unboxing this up in the corner over here, I think it goes. We'll put a link into that. So we got the radio on. And again, we'll bring this over to this side. And we'll test this one out. Let's get this radio out of the way so it's not blocking your guys' view and my view of the trigger and the green tape on the trigger. Okay, so let's give this a go. I saw movement there, but no whine. Okay, so there's another improvement on the new. Obviously, the ESC is definitely new because there is no whine, and nothing until engagement. Like no whine at all at engagement. So I'm pulling. We can see that there's a bit of movement in the tires. If you watch the tires real carefully, like there's a bit of movement, and I'm about the same pull. I would say 2 to 3 millimeter pull. But notice no whine. Like that's much quieter compared to the C10, to the first ESC, which I believe is the AE6 ESC, and this one has no marking on it really. It just has Horizon Hobby on it, but that's like there's no noise there. You just hear the gears of the diffs and the again, I had another problem with my camera. It decided to stop recording again, so I don't know what's going on with my camera. It might be getting old. I might have to upgrade here. It stopped recording. So again, no ESC whine, much quieter. So I'm very impressed with that with the V2. Very impressed. And for me, the trigger pull is exactly the same. But listen to that ESC, very quiet. That's full throttle. And if we compare that to the C10, the first version ESC, you hear the whine. It's a lot louder. So we'll crank this, and then we'll put the C10 back up and listen to it again. Wish I had a second stand here that we could listen to them both. But so that's really quiet. But the pull to me is the same. No difference in the pull. About the same distance. So really, the only improvement I see for sure is in the ESC. It's much quieter. No more whine out of the ESC. So let's get the C10 back up there. I'll just leave that one on for now. And we'll get the C10 back. And then we can hear the difference between the ESCs here. You can compare them. Okay, so we got that back up. There's the whine. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I'll bring this closer. We can hear the whine. There's the whine. And that whine continues. You can just hear it. It's fairly quiet there. Like it's not too bad there. But there's that whine. Hopefully you guys can hear that. See, I can hear that. Okay, there's the whine, and no whine. See, instantly the wheels engage. So I think the pull is actually a little bit better on the new radio. There's full throttle. No whine. I do like that. So there we go. So what did we establish? Well, one, I didn't find a difference in the pull for both of these radios. There was maybe a little bit of a difference with the newer one, but nothing that was a half pull like they were. The comment on my other video was saying that this took a half pull before engagement. It's engaging pretty darn quick here. I find it is. We'll put it and see what it's under a load. Yeah, so no issues there. I do not find that it takes that long of a pull to do that. And the same with this one. It's just much quieter. I do like that. Oh, you can see the body lifting there. So engagement is pre-lifting the body. And so quiet. God, that's quiet. That compared to that. Like, that's a huge amount, huge difference. More of a gear sound there. That's in reverse going forward. Like, big difference. I find there's a big difference in sound there. So again, C10, about quarter throttle, and the new V2 Jeep. I do find that this one may be a little faster. So that also tells me that they may have done something with the motor to make the motor a little more torquey, which could be a good thing. I will have to research that, but yeah, so there we go, guys. There's our comparison of the two. I didn't find any of much of a difference between the pull and the engagement of the motor, so hope you enjoyed. Just something a little different, and checking out the V2 against the V1. And thanks for coming, and thanks for the subscribers for coming and checking in on my videos that I post. And if you're new here, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and click that bell to be notified when I upload new content. And of course, always stay safe, and we'll see you at the next one. Hey guys, while I was horsing around after I finished shooting the video, I did notice one more thing that's different is drag brake. So V1, basically, I'll show here. Hopefully it's in the view, guys. So if we look at V1, I just want to add to the video here just because I found this kind of interesting. I'll give it a crank and off the throttle. So again, on, off. See, no drag brake, either in forward or reverse. On, off. It just, no drag brake whatsoever. So I do believe that they have redone the motor here, and I was worried about having to upgrade these motors. I might just have to buy the new V2 motor, obviously, because if you watch this one, instant stop. There's drag brake there, and that's 100% drag brake. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to read the manual. Of course, you know, all of us, we don't read instructions, to see if there's a way to adjust that drag brake on the new radio. So that's a nice addition. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in here at the end of the video, guys, because I was horsing around with them and I found that out. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one. Stay safe.